The thing about it is in the NFL, it's not just about the quarterback. I mean, the quarterback is still a vital part of the team, but you look at teams like the Ravens who won with Trent Dilfer. I mean, Trent Dilfer, that wasn't the reason that they won the.
Yeah. But if we're going by quarterbacks, we have Peyton Manning. He has 1 Super Bowl, right? And he has 1 loss. But Joe Montana is 4-0 in Super Bowl, so you can always have that argument. Yeah. Peyton Manning has these numbers. Joe Montana has 4-0 in Super Bowl. He's a great quarterback.
Peyton Manning set all the records.
He said.
I don't know why anyone can even has this argument, because Peyton Manning has showed time and time again that he's the best. Okay, look at. We'll talk about that later. But if you look at his teams that he's had, they've been awful.
Okay, this Broncos team is really good.
This Broncos team is solid.
Okay, but the Colts' defense, when he played with the Colts, that was egregious. They had Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis, and that was it.
Well, even their offense, they had a good line.
They had really good receivers. Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne.
And those are 2 Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Joseph Addai was a good running back, too. So
they had a good offense. They scored. But
I think when it comes to Peyton Manning, you can easily say he's the best quarterback there is in certain attributes.
Yes. Accuracy. Accuracy-wise.
Like Zach said, stat-wise, for Super Bowl stuff like that, yes, he's lacking. But when it comes to just precision and crunching at game time, stuff like that, I think he definitely takes cake on certain parts of the game.
That moves on to the question is, Peyton Manning also has really good receivers here too in Denver. They've got Eric Decker and Wes Welker, Julius Thomas, Demaryius Thomas, who all this year
they have some of the best receivers in the league this year.
Yeah, and they all have over 10 touchdown catches this year, which is pretty impressive. Also, just more stats on the Broncos. They're first in passing yards, obviously, with Manning, and they're but on the defensive side of the ball, they're 27th in opposing passing yards.
Yeah, their defense is not the best, to say the least.
Their secondary, they're really good in the run defense part of the game, but their secondary has shown some holes, which shouldn't be too much of a problem, because the Seahawks passing game
is not the best. The Seahawks still have good receivers with Golden Tate.
And Baldwin.
They're still good, but I think they would win the matchup against Seattle's receivers win the matchup against the defensive backs from the Broncos.
The Broncos.
Yeah. Definitely.
The Seahawks are just. I think they're kind of they're good. They're a young team. They have no experience in the Super Bowl. Not one of them. But they're a very good team. They have a good offense. They still have a good offense with Marshawn Lynch, Russell Wilson. He's a dual threat quarterback. Can't take anything away from them.
Yeah.
And then they have a good defense too.
I just think that also the Broncos, the Seahawks' strength is obviously their defense, and the Broncos really have no problems on offense. So you look at the Broncos running backs as well; they have 2 weapons with Noshawn Moreno and Monte Ball.
Yeah,
I think right now we should just take a moment, and I think we have a video of all 55 of Peyton's touchdowns.
Yeah.
We should just watch and admire the work that Peyton Manning went through.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. 'Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them say that.
Ludacris going in on the verse, 'cause I never been defeated and I won't stop now. Keep your hands up, get them in the sky for the homies that ain't making it, my folks locked down. I never went nowhere, what they saying Luda's back. Blame it on that contour, the hood call it Luda yak. And I'm on this foolish track, so I spit my foolish flow. My hands go up and down, like strippers' booties go. My verses still be serving, tight like a million virgins. Last time on a college remix, now I'm on the original version. Can't never count me out, y'all better count me in. Got 20 bank accounts, accountants count me in. Make millions every year, the South champions. 'Cause all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
and they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there.
Swerving in my low, head on the swivel, you know serving me's a no-no. Clean as a whistle as I pull out in my Rolls Royce. Yellow bone passenger, they see it, they say, oh boy. Del Cali, back it up, my call me loco. Down for armed trafficking, don't make me pull up. Ask you what you laughing at, represent that mud life. Dirty money, better get your mud right. We come together holding hands and holler mud life. We all strapping all black, it's like, hey.
All it's true is win.
You riding or what? Cause we riding tonight. Now she riding with me cause you wasn't riding.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
That was a lot of touchdowns. Peyton Manning threw a lot of touchdowns. You can say that. Too many to finish. There we go.
Yep.
I
take up our whole
Truly
show.
amazing for him to set a record like that.
Okay.
55.
The thing that was impressive, like when you watched those touchdowns, is not just like how many he threw, but like the ranges. Like he'd have one that
The
was
variety.
like a 50-yard pass, and then he'd have one that's like on the goal line, just throw it right over the middle. You know, like it was just such a variety. So it's not, just run down to the goal line and then just throw a pass to get 55 touchdowns. No, it's all over.
So, Mitch, you say Peyton Manning, regardless of if he wins this game, he's still the best quarterback of all time.
Well, when he's put up numbers, because if you look through his career, like obviously this has been the best because he set so many records.
Yeah.
But you look at his career, he was the first one to beat the touchdown record until Brady beat him the next year. So he beat that once already, and then he set it again. And then he's held records for most fourth quarter comebacks, which was beat by Andrew Luck rookie season. Like all kinds of stuff.
He's well on his way to another MVP this year.
Sixth one.
Of course.
Well, that'll be fifth. That'll be his fifth one.
I mean, who else is even in the running
Which is
for
still
that besides him?
No, it's Peyton Manning. And the next best is Peyton Manning.
And then
Peyton Manning and his twin.
Hey, I want LaShawn McCoy in there, okay?
No, Peyton Manning is not. It's not gonna be.
LaShawn McCoy.
No one deserves any other votes other than
Peyton Manning's awesome quarterback.
Here's the thing, though. You look at it. I mean, Zach brought up the issue with all the Super Bowls that Joe Montana won. Peyton Manning's obviously had a history early on in his career. It took him a while to kind of get over that hump in the playoffs. And so, I mean, if you look at it from the standpoint of has Manning done enough in the playoffs? Because we've seen a little. He's not the same player. He's not the same player from the regular season to the playoffs.
No.
And
whole other animal.
I mean,
I don't know this year.
I agree with you. I think Manning is the best quarterback of all time. Stats wise, it's easily shown that. I mean, he has every record basically. And
but
so,
there's arguments everywhere.
Yeah. There's never gonna be a better.
I want to see him take more Super Bowl wins, and then I will say he's by far the best.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Like
I think if he wins this second one, it has to solidify.
I mean, seal in my
does.
crush.
Well, I think all in all, when we talk Denver Broncos season, really the only person we have talked about is Peyton Manning. So
yeah, is there anyone else we can? Thomas.
Yeah, we're gonna take a quick break, watch Shot of the Week, and we'll be back to talk about Scott's favorite team, the Seahawks.
So much I wanna do. My mouth just keeps on running, but I never follow through. I heard that true religion is love with hands and feet. I wanna find my own way to reach a world in need. Yeah, I've been captured by the unimportant, locked in, and now it's time to break free. Yeah, there's more to life. Open my eyes. Someone is needing you, so I gotta make a move. What good are words when this world
just want to say, nice kick in Connor Whalen. I didn't think he had it in him. I really didn't.
Nice.
All right, so we're back. We're going to talk about the Denver Broncos opponents, Seattle Seahawks, and their second appearance in the Super Bowl all time. Before we talk about their season, we're going to talk about one of the biggest things that's happened, and that was after the Seahawks beat the Niners in the championship game. Richard Sherman pulled off one of the most incredible plays of the year. It was awesome.
Whoa.
And final play.
Whoa.
And he tips it away from Michael Crabtree for a game-winning touchdown.
I'll give him a hand.
You'll give him a hand?
I'll give him a hand.
He doesn't
need
incredible.
It, but I'll give it to him.
But that's not
he's the best corner in the game.
That's not what we want to talk about. We want to talk about what happened right after that in an interview with Aaron Andrews. So we've brought Kevin Cook on us to report on Richard Sherman's interview.
Thanks, Mitch. Well, right after the game, he goes up to Aaron Andrews and says, "I'm the best corner in the game." I like Richard Sherman, but that's not what you do on camera. You say I had a good pass rush, but you don't say that. You got to be looking at when you look at him, he is the best corner in the game right now. Champ Bailey, he doesn't have the stats yet. 48 tackles, 8 interceptions. I don't know, Mitch. He's looking pretty good to me. Yet Champ Bailey did say, if you're the best, you don't have to say you're the best. You show it on the field, which he has shown on the field. If he doesn't show it on this Sunday in the Super Bowl, then he's not the best. If he can show it, I like him. I want to see him be the best. I don't know about you.
So, what do you think this will have any effect on the game, on the Super Bowl?
I think it will. It's put a big target on his head. He's got to perform. If he doesn't perform, then it's going to be goodbye for him. He's going to have a lot of critics against him. He has them a lot right now, but they're all waiting to see if he's going to be able to perform on Sunday, which I hope he does. I like him.
Do you have that exact quote of what he said to Aaron Andrews for us?
I kind of got it memorized, but it goes somewhere like, "I'm the best corner in the game." But other than that...
All right, Kevin. Thank you for that report on that.
Thank you.
Back here. All right, so...
He is the best corner in the game.
I'm the best corner in the game.
I honestly, I had no problem with what he said right after the game. No. Because when you catch a player right after he just made probably the play of his life.
Easily play of his life.
To send your team to the Super Bowl, you're going to be pumped, especially with Crabtree, where they've had this lasting rivalry. So, in my opinion, that wasn't the problem. It was like 30 minutes later in his press conference when he said the same exact thing that you're like, okay, dude.
Well, that's the type of player that Sherman is.
It is.
And he's always been like that. And Crabtree did a lot to provoke him to say that.
I mean, they almost got in a fight before the season. There's just been they're division rivals. They go at it multiple times a year.
Crabtree is the type
to go at it in the NFC Championship. I mean, why not?
Crabtree's been starting fights since college. I mean, let's be honest. He was not a
State fan.
Okay, that doesn't matter. I'm not biased about that. Anyways, he's been this way since college, and when you put a man like him and Sherman together, like what else do you think you were gonna get? They both are very not big-headed, but but they deserve it.
They're very.
But they work for it. I mean, Sherman, look where he came from, straight out of Compton, graduated Stanford 3.9.
There we go.
And now he's in the NFL, making money, best corner in the game apparently.
23 interceptions over the last 3 seasons. He's leading the league.
What I have to say about that. I mean, Sherman obviously has shown this last 2 years that he is rightfully deserving to be the best corner in the league. And I have nothing wrong with what he said. I mean, it's been kind of a season like that. It's been kind of a career like that. He's always had that type of ego and something to say. Yeah. But was it really the play of the year?
I know.
Was it really the play of the year?
It was a play.
Okay,
San Francisco fan.
Let me rephrase that. It was the play of the year for the Seahawks season.
Okay, for the Seahawks.
But
for Richard Sherman, I'm not really sure that he was trying to tip that back into an interception.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he was just trying to make a play on the ball.
But
it was not happen that way.
To be honest, it was not a very well thrown ball. Colin Kaepernick, I mean, it was like
it wasn't a good decision.
It was like a foot. He didn't throw a foot farther, and he gets it over his head. But Matt Crabtree did push off a little bit, and he got a full hand on it though still. So I mean, you can't. It's not even that good of a play. It's a good play. It's in the Super Bowl, but
I think it was the best play of the Seahawks season. Just because it was such a, it was like perfect timing. Okay, let's not go that far.
Okay, here you go though. I mean, that's the thing is what Sherman said. We're still talking about it today. So he's obviously made an impact, and I mean, he's gotten a lot of attention. He's got plenty of Twitter followers from it.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
He is the leader of the Legion of Boom, which is
the Legion of Adderall.
Yeah.
Hey, it helped. It helped.
This second, the defense in general for the Seahawks has been the true story for the Seahawks all season. It's been absolutely incredible. It's been one of the best defenses I've seen in the past few years. I mean,
all around, from the defensive line to the backers to the defensive backs. I mean,
their defensive backs, they are the meanest defense I have ever seen, though. That's for sure. They may not be the best I've ever seen, but they are the meanest. Because when they go in there to hit, they're the most penalized team in the league for a reason.
And see, as someone watching, and if I put myself in the shoes of the Broncos right now, I mean, I'd be a little intimidated looking at a team that has the most penalties, hits the hardest, has the fastest defense.
I don't think the Broncos have any
I don't think the Broncos offense. So the Broncos offense the best. Seahawks defense the best. I don't think they both have the big egos. They don't care. They're like, oh, we're better than them.
The Broncos they have never matched up against a defense of this caliber so far this season.
The thing.
And the Seahawks defense has not matched up against an offense of this caliber yet. So
true. It goes
both ways. It goes
really
both ways.
Like they're for me, I feel there is no better matchup right now than for the Super Bowl.
This is
exactly how it should be.
This is what it should be from the start.
It's
exactly.
going to be an interesting game.
The most explosive and most powerful best offense against the best defense.
I mean, I don't see the Seahawks have any chance of blowing the Broncos out though, because their offense.
Their offense keep up.
Obviously,
their offense really consists of Wilson and Lynch.
Well, it relies so heavily on Marshawn Lynch. And here's the thing: if Lynch can get, his due of like 100 yards. That'll be huge for Russell Wilson because it'll be able to open up lanes to throw to like guys like Golden Tate and make a big play. If you look at that NFC Championship game, the Seahawks offense had like 6 big plays that got them down the field and that completely changed the game. That was their offense, is big plays.
Yeah.
And so, and then Lynch running consistently. So it'll be really difficult for Seattle to keep up with the Broncos offensively. I don't know if there's any way.
But if the Seahawks can just pull it out and stay strong on the defensive side, it will keep their offense in the game. I mean, it just goes.
One other thing we got to address is also I think that very helpful for the Seahawks this season was their fans.
Yes.
The crowd factor
travel
was a 12 on a scale.
We can all agree on that. They will travel well to the Super Bowl.
They broke the sound record.
They play a lot differently on the road than they play at home.
Exactly.
And that season showed all season long.
So could we say?
I mean, so did the Broncos though. I mean, that loss in Indianapolis kind of shocked.
The Seahawks though, the discrepancy between the Seahawks at home.
Like it's not like it's just a little.
There's so many factors. There's so many factors to the game. There's so many factors.
Well, there always is for Super Bowl. So do we think that depending on how well their fans travel, that could play a major role?
I don't think they can get any sort of home field advantage the way they. No. There's no way.
Not like it. Up in Westfield. No way.
And give me a break. Even if they do have a lot of fans there, I don't think Peyton Manning's going to be. I mean, he's just going to yell his Omahas.
We're not.
And people are going to make money off it.
He doesn't get affected by things like that.
No.
He doesn't get affected by crowd factor.
No,
he just
at all.
plays the game and tears apart the defense. Like that's what he does. That's what he always has been.
Yeah.
All right. So
I totally agree.
I think that's been the Seahawks season in a nutshell, is their defense and their crowd. So we're gonna see some of our very own Wasatch High School Super Bowl predictions, and then we'll come back to talk about our Super Bowl matchups.
I don't go here.
Okay, Coach Stasher, what's your predictions?
Chicago Bears.
Wrestling or golf?
Basketball.
Okay, Mr. Jepson. Seahawks or Broncos?
That's a no-brainer.
Broncos!
Okay, Mr. Kelly, Super Bowl, who are we going for?
Broncos all the way, baby.
You think they can win with Sherman?
Who's Sherman?
Okay, we're at the Cowboy Corner. Super Bowl, who's going to win it?
Seahawks all the way.
Seahawks. Broncos.
We got 3 Seahawks and 1 Broncos. Okay, we're here with Bo and Paul. Bo, for you first. Super Bowl 2014, what are your thoughts?
I'm the best corner in the game.
We got a Seahawks fan. And Paul, what do you have to say?
I think the Dolphins really got a shot this year. They've been playing great defense. Offense is a little shaky, but yeah.
Nash, what do you think?
I like Peyton Manning.
Super Bowl 2014, who's going to win it?
I really don't know, actually.
The Redskins?
No, I don't think so.
Dolphins?
I don't think so.
The Red Bulls?
I don't think so.
The Seahawks?
Yeah.
Okay, Seahawks or Broncos? Tell us.
Well, since the Niners are out, Niners really would have taken it. That's another story. Peyton Manning all the way, Broncos.
Okay, Mr. Sanderson, your opinion always counts. Talk to us about the Seahawks and Broncos. What do you think?
I think you need a haircut, dude.
Okay, Mrs. Hermanson.
Yeah.
Predictions on Super Bowl 2014.
I'd like the Chargers to win. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're here with Coach Colburn. Coach Colburn, Super Bowl 2014, what's your predictions?
I think the Denver Broncos by at least a touchdown over Sherman in the last second to win the game.
You think Peyton can really beat Sherman that bad?
Well, Sherman can't cover the plethora of receivers that the Denver Broncos have.
All 5'4" of them?
Oh, no, you got Thomas and Welker, but Welker hides behind them. And then they're going to hand off the ball to Ball.
But it's the best defense in the NFL.
Against the best offense in the NFL.
There you have it. Okay, Coach Scholl, Super Bowl 2014, what's your predictions?
I'm a Manning fan. I think Manning's going to do her. He deserves it.
It's a good answer. Okay, Richie, Seahawks or Broncos?
Broncos.
Okay, Mr. Croft, I know football is kind of your past life, but you still know stuff about it. So tell me, Seahawks or Broncos?
Seahawks by 17.
And Sherman?
I don't even know who he is.
Well, there you have it.
As you can see,
I like Claire Merritt's prediction the best.
Chicago Bears.
The Niners winning it.
I like
They in the Super Bowl?
Chargers. All right,
the playoffs? No.
During that, we had some breaking news that some white powder was delivered to 3 hotels in New Jersey, and so they brought in like hazardous material team and the bomb scares and.
From CNN. So.
Yeah, this is from CNN.
Breaking news.
And so this is obviously having a few security issues, but FBI and local officials are monitoring the situation. So
you're getting some heads a little bit.
That's a little scary. I mean, it's scary.
Well, last thing, okay, if we do all these predictions, everything goes down, then the Super Bowl gets shut down by a bomb threat, I'm gonna be really upset.
I'm gonna be very upset.
You're right. All the work we went into.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Moving on.
So we're going to talk about some matchups for the game. We each have picked our favorite matchups for the game. This is like player on player or like a group of players versus somebody, things like that. So I'll start out. My first one was Julius Thomas versus Cam Chancellor. So Julius Thomas, tight end for the Broncos. He is a major factor for me because there's tons of weapons on the team, but he is the biggest one at 6'7". And so I think the person they'll charge with guarding him is Cam Chancellor, who is probably the biggest strong safety I've ever seen in my life. It's standing 6'3", 250.
And he shut down Vernon Davis last week.
He's shut down multiple tight ends. And I think that could be one of the biggest matchups, Broncos offense versus Seattle's defense. And then on the other side of the ball, I have Marshawn Lynch versus Brandon Knighton, because obviously we talked about this earlier. Is Russell Wilson and the passing game rely a lot on how Marshawn Lynch does. So Marshawn Lynch is going to be that key, and the guy that's the big boy in the middle on Broncos defense is Brandon Knighton, who has just been he replaced Elvis Dumerville this year. and he is just playing out of his mind.
Doomville, almost an irreplaceable player.
Yeah.
Gets replaced pretty.
And so I think he is the sole reason that the Broncos have the number 5 run defense in the league. Is because he is so. I think he is the not the sole reason, the main reason. Okay, the main reason.
Smart remarks from that end of the desk. Glad I'm not over there.
Because he's so big and he's so strong that it takes so much effort to try and block him. So it's hard to run right in between tackles because there's just too many people.
What else? Is that your matchups?
Those are my matchups.
Right. Well, I'll go with my matchups then, and I have Demaryius Thomas versus Richard Sherman as my number 1. I think that, obviously this is the two best.
That's
the best
the matchup
receiver,
everyone wants to see.
The best receiver and the best corner on both teams and their respective teams. And here's the problem though with this matchup. Sherman obviously is gonna have his work cut out for him, but I think he'll stand fine against Demaryius Thomas. But that leaves the rest of the Broncos' plethora of wide receivers, like Coburn said, that it's going to be hard. Sherman can't cover all 50 of their options.
That's big.
So that's obviously going to be something to look at.
So many options.
And then another thing I think is that Noshawn Moreno versus Seattle's front 4 is going to be huge, because if the Broncos can get production in their running game, then the Seahawks are going to have to focus a lot more on stopping the run, and then that just leaves. If Noshawn Moreno can run for 100 yards, or if Noshawn Moreno and Monte Ball combined run for 100 yards, the Broncos could win by 60. Boo!
I'll boo him. I'll boo with him. Boo.
Oh, God.
What are you booing?
Go to your second one.
That was my second one.
That was your second one? Noshawn?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, my matchups. I have Wes Welker and Earl Thomas III, and the big thing in this is, Earl Thomas III safety, and the Seahawks have such good DBs with Earl Thomas III, Cam Chancellor, and Richard Sherman, and just like there's a plethora of DBs. Legion of Boom. They're
of Seattle.
But the thing is, Wes Welker's so quick and strong off the ball. You really can't it's so hard to cover them. But at the same time, the Seahawks defense is just you really cannot. It's so hard to predict this game because you don't know who's gonna come out and show who's gonna come out to play.
I do, Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I don't think Peyton Manning's gonna have much problem. Also another corner on the Seahawks, Maxwell, is a really good corner too, and he stepped up against Bolden and Crabtree in that last game.
There's so many. Okay, we'll move on. Golden Tate versus Champ Bailey. Bailey's first Super Bowl.
I think
is that
depends
what it
on
is?
Zoner Man.
First Super Bowl, and he's been in it for about 15
Aren't you guys all
years.
so excited for Champ Bailey in his first Super Bowl?
How old
he's
is he,
taken
like
it.
50?
He's very old.
How has he not been in
He's
a
been
Super
here
Bowl
for
yet?
at least 25 years.
I don't think Golden Tate has a chance.
I
don't think Golden Tate is good enough to.
All right,
Golden Tate is still good though. He's still a great receiver.
Hold on,
and the thing is, if they move Crabtree,
Crabtree, best wide receiver in the game.
He's the best. If they move Golden Tate to the other side, unless they're moving Champ Bailey with Golden Tate, they're still gonna move the ball because Golden Tate's a great receiver. We got Baldwin, a great receiver.
I think it depends on zone or man. I think Golden Tate has the advantage over Champ Bailey, but if they're in zone, I think Champ's got
too
him.
The wisdom in Champ's eyes is just too much to handle. There's just a lot of.
When it comes to man, I think it literally comes down to age. Champ's kind of old, not as fast.
Hey, Scott, I have a question. Do you think any of the Seahawks will match up better than the Broncos? Is there any player on the Seahawks that's better than the Broncos?
I think Marshawn Lynch is gonna have his way kind of with the Broncos' run defense. But I think so. And I think that I don't know. The Seahawks offense has looked so bad recently, and it's looked so inconsistent. It looked pretty good at the start of the season,
you're right.
But I just think that the way that they played, they squeaked past a few teams at the end of the season. They lost the Arizona Cardinals at home. So I think the Seahawks will be really tough in the passing game. Adjustments will be made though in the second half by Peyton Manning.
All right.
On to Connors.
Yeah, let's move to see Connors matchup.
All right, first my matchup is Peyton Manning versus Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is the head coach, and I chose this matchup because Peyton Manning, like as we all know, what he does is he picks apart a defense / team. He just I mean, I just picture him sitting at home in his study with like a warm cup of coffee.
He's got that little.
Like,
he's in his swimming pool with the iPad.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
His
He's just
on.
sitting there studying. And I give the advantage to Peyton Manning on this one when it comes to picking apart their team because Pete Carroll decided they're not going to change anything on their defense. I mean, normally when a team's coming to play Peyton Manning, they change a couple things up, so because he just studies them, right? So Pete's not changing anything, so I give the advantage to Peyton because I think Peyton's going to pick them apart. Any comments?
Objection.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I think that Pete Carroll's right to not want to change anything. Obviously, his defense has been. There's no reason to change anything now. But I think they're going to have to make adjustments in the second half if something's going wrong.
Yeah, halftime definitely. You always have to make adjustments.
Peyton Manning's constantly making adjustments.
Because the biggest thing with that matchup is there's only one way in the world that you can beat Peyton Manning, and that's when he's sitting on the bench. So Pete Carroll, I wouldn't worry so much about the defense. Pete Carroll needs to worry about his offense.
Yeah, because
offense needs to move the ball. His offense needs to run that ball.
They got to keep up with Peyton in their offense. They're already. It seems like they're playing catch up already. A game hasn't even started, but everyone looks at them as their offense being lesser to the Broncos. So I feel like they're gonna need to really concentrate on their offense to keep up.
Trick plays, maybe.
Feel my vibe.
Trick plays to get some.
All right, moving on to the second one. Russell Wilson and John Fox. Russell Wilson being the quarterback for Seattle. John Fox, head coach of Broncos. I give the advantage to the Broncos head coach John Fox. Since
obviously Connor's going for the Broncos.
Okay, you know what? Yes, I am a little bit, but I'm not trying not to be biased. I'm just going off stats.
He's very biased.
The reason I say this is because since December 2nd, Russell Wilson has had 21 sacks. All right, and as a head coach, if you look at that, it's pretty simple to be able to plan. It's pretty easy to plan around that. You just send more blitzes, put more pressure into the pocket, and which could cause to get in his head. And being the whole 5'11" that Russell Wilson is, I feel like it will.
Thing.
I think they can get him to scramble and get in his head with rush.
If they send more blitzes, they do a screen and they burn the blitz for 50 yards. So if they get smart, if they get smart,
he can't even see over his line.
They can go over
run screen plays the whole game.
They can get around.
5'11".
They can get around blitzes.
Here's the thing, Russell Wilson.
Throw a screen, throw a quick pass.
Yeah, but if you keep him locked
Delayed
in that
handoff.
pocket, and he can't do his little scramble thing, all 5'11" of him running around.
It's called the play.
I think he's in trouble if they keep him in the pocket and keep consistent pressure on him while he's in the pocket.
I think Russell Wilson, though, as far as, I have no problem with him if it comes down to a late game situation. I think he's very, very mature for how young he is and how long he's been in this league. I think that he's shown time and time again throughout games that he's been able to come out of close games.
He can be big time.
So I think Russell Wilson's going to struggle, obviously, being in his first Super Bowl. But if it comes down to a late time in the game, then it's going to be
clutch.
And Russell Wilson has shown that for his career. So Sherman's going to stop Wilson.
So those are definitely our biggest matchups for that we think we should watch. I
got booed, and then
we also, along with this, we've created some bold predictions. We've all thought about it, and we've thought of things that this is what's going to happen. We may sound crazy saying it, but this is what I think is going to happen. So mine is, I think Marshawn Lynch doesn't even get to 50 yards rushing. I think the Broncos' defensive line is just going to smash Seattle's offensive line, and Marshawn Lynch will do nothing the whole game.
Here's the thing. I think the Seahawks want to rush Lynch 50 times probably to win this game.
So he's averaging 1 yard a game.
Yeah, well,
one yard.
Still 50 times, 50 carries for Marshawn Lynch, that'd be something to see.
What kind of odds there is that it's going to go over 50? If he's getting 50 carries.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put the odds in his favor.
I agree with that too.
I definitely do see the Broncos putting some major pressure on him, but I don't
Lynch is he's too big. He's too big.
He doesn't go down.
I think Brandon Knighton's just a little bit Yeah, but
and Marshawn Lynch is a little bit faster.
A little bit slower.
Hey, He can hold his own, man.
I can be here all day. Anyways,
it's not just going to be
I can
Brandon
see-
Knighton. It's going to have to be
my bold prediction.
Trevathan. And
What's your bold prediction, Zach? Let's see.
I'm going to go with Peyton Manning under 200 passing yards. I had it at 175, but 200.
I'm leaving this.
The thing is, if we keep it, okay.
Yeah, what?
I mean,
I can't
I'm throwing
believe-
this out here because this is what the Seahawks need to do to win.
I think Wes Welker's going to get 200.
Okay,
Yeah, hello.
You think Wes Welker's only getting 150, actually?
No, I'll change it to 200.
Watch
now.
yourself.
If you think that Peyton Manning, if you think that Peyton Manning's going to be held for under 200 yards.
I mean, there's a part of me that wants it to happen. There's part of me that doesn't know if it's actually going to happen. That's the thing.
170.
If it happens, 200 yards.
Okay.
If they keep under 200 yards, Super Bowl win. Seahawks.
I said we
Yeah,
might
well, if
sound
they keep
insane.
him under
Obviously,
200
but,
yards, they'll win.
200 yards. I think he's going to be.
I said we might sound
He's
insane for
amazing.
these predictions.
All these-
That's the
That's
insane
just
one. Yeah.
ludicrous.
There's
That is-
no way
that-
Peyton Manning's getting
oh my
held
goodness.
under 200 yards.
What?
I don't understand.
That is what your prediction was.
That shouldn't be
All
happening.
right.
Fly on crap.
Let's go to Scott.
cool.
Scott, what's your prediction? I think you got something pretty opposite of that.
I think Wes Welker is going to be a big factor in the game because there's so many different receivers, and so I think there's a plethora again. I would just love that word today. Wes Welker
So
is going
good.
to.
Thanks, Coach Coburn.
He'll have a big game, get 10 catches for at least 150 yards, and that'll be the difference in the game. That's what I'm saying.
My turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
I hope I don't get the fly thing. I have Sherman keeps Thomas over 100 yards.
This is the weakest.
Under.
This is the weakest
That's it, over?
prediction.
Keep him over.
Oh, sorry. I
I don't think
under.
he's giving
Excuse
him
me.
yards.
This is the
Yes.
weakest prediction because
Are you
Sherman
kidding
will keep Thomas under 100 yards. There's no doubt.
I don't know, I made this prediction. I was like, yeah, that's possible. And then, thank you.
I think they're clapping for me. They're clapping
All
for me.
week. I don't know. Now with the whole buzz around Sherman, I feel that he's got a lot of pressure on him. All the publicity. I think he's going to really step it up in this game.
I do too.
I think he's going to go from being just the best corner in the game to actually officially
The
being
best
the best
corner all time.
Sherman,
all time.
Deion Sanders.
Also, Sherman is a little bit faster than Thomas. I think that's going to help him.
But Tom's
a
so powerful.
little bit bigger.
He is just. He's powerful.
I mean, you can go
I'm
both ways.
just thinking.
I don't know what
if-
sound that was. I'm really not sure. If
I just had this thought. If Seattle were to win this game and Sherman were to make another big play, can you picture the post-game interview of Richard Sherman going,
I told
I'm
you
the
I'm
best
the
corner
best
ever
ever in the game.
No corner. I'm quitting right now and being in the Hall of Fame next year.
Really. I mean, I could totally see that happening. I mean, now
the best corner.
if he makes a big play in the Super Bowl, especially towards the end, like he did for the playoff game, I think that then it's official that he is the best corner.
He's
in the
the
game.
best corner.
This year.
No, he's
best
already. He
corner in the
doesn't
game.
need to win the Super Bowl
Best
to
corner in
be
the game.
considered the best corner. He's the best corner.
That's what it'll
He
do for
just
me.
doesn't need to say it like
It'll
an
go
idiot.
from just
That'll just
trash
put it over the
talking
top.
to
That'll put it over the
actually
top.
being official.
So I'm preparing for all this. From what I got, I think we have it that Zach and Connor think Seahawks got the game. And then Scott and me have Broncos.
I'd have the Texans.
Are we going
over them.
predictions?
I'd have the
Oh,
Texans.
wait.
We're
Okay,
going
let's do
predictions.
team
We're
win
going
predictions.
I'm gonna go with Paul. The Dolphins' defense, though. What? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm going with Matt Schaub for MVP this year. Matt Schaub.
I'd have the Texans over the Seahawks at this point. I'm just kidding. Okay.
We know that. We've learned that about
Matt
you.
Schaub.
He's obviously
No.
a Niners fan.
Okay, predicting for this
Packers.
game. I do think it's going to be a close game to a point, and then I think fourth quarter, Peyton Manning is just going to go, okay, I'm done playing, and I'm just going to kill you guys. And he's just going to turn it on. And I think the final score, I think Broncos 34, Seahawks 21.
Whoa.
I think it's going to
That's a bold
spread.
move.
I think it's going to spread out just because
60-10.
I think that Wilson will be able to put up a few points, but compared to Peyton Manning, I mean that defense is good, but Peyton Manning is just too smart.
And Sherman really put a target on his back with the whole says Peyton Manning throws ducks.
Yeah, but if
things.
Peyton.
I mean,
Peyton
give me a
Manning-
break.
If Peyton tries to go out there and throw it over Richard Sherman every time
Gosh,
because
that's
you
making Sherman more.
you think he'll do that? You think Peyton Manning will like get in his head like, oh, I need to throw over Richard Sherman now?
No.
He's saying
No,
that.
I think Peyton Manning's going to do whatever. Peyton Manning doesn't care about what
He is
kids
wise.
do.
He's like the medicine man of football.
Okay,
He's
I heard
old
what you
and
said.
he's wise.
He's old and he's wise.
When it comes to playing the game, he is the medicine man of the NFL. He's old, he's wise, he knows exactly what to do in every situation. And he
So your
destroys
prediction?
defense. Oh.
So you're going back and forth, man.
Okay, all right.
Don't shoot yourself in the foot now.
My prediction is for Sherman and Thomas, all right? But for the total win of the Super Bowl, I have Broncos. I'm going to have to say in the 30s. All right, I'm not putting out a number.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, that's the thing. Hey, that's the thing.
Broncos in the 30s.
We are putting out a number right now,
And then
so...
Seattle in the teens.
I'll go Denver 24, Seattle 10.
So you're the only Seattle believer
Seahawks.
right now.
I mean,
No way.
What do you think is going
Seattle
to be the advantage
Seahawks
for Seattle?
24, Denver Broncos 21.
I will
game.
How many interceptions is Sherman going to have?
If there's a hope for
there's Seattle,
and
More
that's
than he has in his season.
the hope for Seattle is Peyton Manning has proven like he's struggled in bigger games. I mean, I think this year is going to be different.
Yeah.
But the other factor is this going to be so cold, guys? It's going to be below freezing.
From Colorado. It's just as cold in
but
Colorado.
No, it's
going to
not.
be
It's actually pretty
so
warm in Colorado.
cold. And the other thing
It's
is
actually
they're
usually 50s.
they're
40,
playing MetLife.
50s.
They're playing
Yes,
in
it is.
MetLife.
Same climate as Utah.
No, it is not.
Guys, right now.
It is different.
They're playing in MetLife Stadium. I don't know if you know anything about that stadium, but because it's open, the wind swirls around the stadium. So the wind in there is going to be pretty crazy. So that's the only reason that I could see the Seahawks having an advantage
And
in this
you know
game.
my boy Manning
Which
has been
is a
preparing
shame.
for that.
Which is a shame
It
because it shouldn't come down to weather between
Crying. So basically
If
now
he's the
we're
better
looking at an
team.
all-running Super Bowl.
Marshawn Lynch, beast mode.
And give me
Engaged.
Monty Ball and no Sean Moreno versus Marshawn.
And Marshawn
I
Lynch
think
takes.
that.
Marshawn Lynch gets a Skittles.
Well, they
bill
got
this
Robert
week.
Turbin.
What
Robert
can you
Turbin
do
from Utah
Yeah.
State?
Yeah, Robert
Lynch
Sherman.
did anyone
Robert
watch?
Sherman.
I also want to.
Do that, please. Yeah. I'm not getting booed for one.
Okay, here's the thing. Marshawn Lynch got a Skittles deal. That's big.
So that's
I just
gonna
want to throw
change.
that out there. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good for him.
Did anyone else see
Good for
him in his interview with?
Less than 7 minutes. He said, I'm only going to be here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, and he's just,
Quote,
first of all, he's got his headphones like up here, like he thinks he's like Deadmau5 or something. And he's got his headphones up here, and he looks like he's about to go DJ.
Don't mess with him.
And then his
Okay,
friend starts talking for him.
Why is everybody just criticizing Seahawks and all their media? It's like
Because
Richard Sherman's
they're
way over
horrible
here
media,
yelling
like-
at the media and scaring Aaron Andrews, and then over here we got Marshawn Lynch, who's like,
You
I just
can't
don't want to
be
get
a-
fined.
You can't just have respectable comments.
I just
Really
Why don't
though,
they just
like,
be in
is
the
it that
middle?
hard for them to be able to come out there and be a respectable football team? Be like, yes, we made it here.
And- okay.
we here
Yeah.
now.
You
Like,
don't
let's
need
be
to-
respectful about this. And
Because
So-
that's not how they
That
are.
hasn't been the season.
what the best going on the game?
we'll be back.
I'm just here so I don't get
Talk
fined.
about what happened and my predictions being right, because we all know they are.
Time for